guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to share with you 10 things that I would never put on a credit card ever again. So let's talk about that. Okay, so I have been on quite the journey with credit cards over my life. We had over $20,000 in credit card debt at one point. We paid it all off. We canceled all of our credit cards, and we went at least 10 years without ever using credit cards. And then I started an Etsy shop, and orders were being placed through the print on demand company that I utilize, and it was easier and safer for me to use a credit card. So we opened up a credit card, one with points, with cashback points, with rewards, and we put it on. I linked it to that, so that way when orders came in, it would charge the credit card, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about all that money coming in and out of my bank account. So then, they go on the credit card, and then I get paid weekly out of Etsy for all of the orders placed. And so when I get paid, I immediately, pay off the credit card weekly. So that way it never carries a balance, and I do get cashback rewards on it. So I kind of have changed my stance on credit cards based off of that experience that I've had now with running an online shop business with products that I'm selling. And so, but there are many things though that I would never put on a credit card. And so I wanted to share those things with you, and also what to do instead as opposed to putting them on a credit card. And I still find that credit cards I still think that they are sneaky, and you have to be careful because the credit card industry, they make tons of money with, these reward programs, and they know how to get you, right? Like they're hoping that you overextend yourself and you're not able to pay it back. And so you still need to be incredibly careful with credit card debt and credit cards in general, even if you're using them and you're trying to use them responsibly and you are using them to take advantage of those reward programs. Okay, so all of that said, a disclaimer out there. Let's start with number one, and that is groceries. Okay, so if you are using your credit card and you're getting points and you're paying it off every week and you are purchasing your groceries, that might work for you. But I find that buying food, groceries on a credit card to be very dangerous because groceries are getting more and more expensive. And what you might end up discovering is that you cannot pay it off every week. And you have to be incredibly tight and diligent and responsible with your budgeting and your spending if you're going to use a credit card for groceries. And because it's like you eat the food and it's gone and you need the food, but it's not like you have an actual product that you could resell to get the money back in order to pay off your credit card. So I would say I would not ever use credit cards for groceries. Okay, next is holidays. It's, the holiday season as I'm filming this video, and a lot of times people overextend themselves when it comes to holidays because you have, events coming up, gatherings, maybe for your children. You feel the pressure because the list of items that your children want is getting more and more expensive as they age. I have 3 teenagers currently, and I completely understand this. We're living it. I understand like the price of things just gets more and more as far as what they are wanting, and you want them to have a good holiday. But when you put your holiday on your credit card, you have to carry it with you after the holiday, and it sort of spoils your overall the season, because then you're constantly thinking about how you have all this money sitting on your credit card and you're going to have to pay it back. It can add to the stress and make the holiday not as magical and not as pleasant or warm or loving, all the things that you want your holiday season to be. So as opposed to doing that, try to make sure that you have some sort of sinking fund in a bank account, that every paycheck that you make throughout the year or every month, you have a certain amount of money going towards that account so you can build it up and you have that money set aside. Then if you want to use a credit card for rewards, you can pay it off right away because you have this whole account, this whole fund sitting on the side waiting for you to spend for the holiday season. And then you really are very crystal clear on what your budget is because you have the money in that account. And if you're short, then you can make sure you save more for the next year. And if you've got extra, then yes, you can either carry it over to the next year or you can have an even more abundant, magical Christmas, right? With more stuff, which maybe we all don't really need, but there you go. Okay, next is vacations. True story, we went to Disney World at one point, my husband and I, before we had children, and we put the entire thing on our Disney credit card. And I know a lot of people do that. I saw a video recently of people in Disney World, and they were talking about how they had paid for it, how much, and most of them had put it on their credit card. But then again, your vacation, while you're on vacation, you're probably thinking about how much money you have in debt as a result of it. And afterwards, it comes with you. You come home from the vacation is over, good or bad, and you have to pay this debt off. And it's just not a great way to spend your leisure time, in my opinion, because then you're on this fabulous vacation perhaps, but you might not even be able to enjoy it because you know that you're going to have to pay for it after, and it's going to maybe take you years to pay it back. And it did take us years. It took us years to pay back that trip. So what you can do instead for your vacations is obviously to save first. If you have some kind of vacation sinking fund, then that way you have that money set aside to spend. And then you want to try to travel maybe smaller or more budget friendly, or go to more local places as opposed to things that are more extravagant. Save those super extravagant trips for when you are in your elderly, senior, retired years. I know people say they want to do it when they're young, they want to be able to enjoy it, but you can enjoy it when you're older. You can absolutely still really enjoy your vacations at that age. Keep yourself healthy, focus on staying in shape, eating well, exercising, and then at least you really can appreciate it because you know what you're seeing and how much you waited and saved and sacrificed to take those trips. And if you want to take them when you're younger, that's perfectly fine. Just save up for them and take a little bit more time saving, maybe a couple years, and planning for it. So when you go, you really appreciate it and you'll have these lasting memories, as opposed to just charging it and traveling and maybe going with people that you're not going to know in the future, or maybe you won't like in the future. So you'll have all these vacation photos at this fabulous trip with people that you don't like, or who you've broken up with or divorced. And so, waiting a little bit longer maybe is not a bad idea, because then you'll be also on the trip with people that you know that you really want to be on the trip and be in photos with on the trip. Back to school shopping. All right, maybe you're not thinking about that right now. Maybe you are as you're watching this video, but charging notebooks, backpacks, also have a sinking fund. So prepare for back to school. You know that your children are going to be going back to school probably every year. So try to save up for that, just like you should probably be saving for their college education if they're going to go or not go. A lot of times that money's transferable. If they don't use it, then you can transfer it to another kid or to yourself. But saving money, sinking fund for education, back to school. Again, try not to charge that stuff because it just doesn't feel good and it's going to take a while to pay off. Furniture, home decor. We've done this. We charged sofas in our past. Raymore and Flanagan, I don't know if they're still in business. We had a credit card there and we bought furniture there to for our new house back in the day. And that didn't feel good to be paying for a couch for 5 years. So I would never put furniture on a credit card, especially now that I've been really into thrifting. You can get so much amazing furniture at estate sales, thrift stores, really solid wood furniture for so dirt cheap. Oh my goodness. And you just got to clean it up a bit. And it's even better than what you can buy brand new a lot of times. So I would never credit card furniture ever again. Okay, next is car repairs. So if you've got a car, it's going to break, new or old. It's going to need some kind of repairs or maintenance. And so we have a separate bank account, again, for car repairs, car replacement. And every time I get paid, a certain amount of money, a couple $100 goes into that account. So that way when we do need to fix our car, we have the money sitting there, because it is just awful. I hate doing any kind of car repair. I'm not really a car person. So it's like the worst thing to spend money on. It's like spending money on fixing your oil tank or replacing your oil tank at your house. And it's just not fun money to spend. So it's better to have the money saved, set aside, so it's not moving forward with you into your future on your credit card. Okay, next is medical bills, medical debt. Not fun, right? If unexpected things happen and you might end up in the hospital, or, you have to get treatments, and that's a terrible thing to have to be managing, on top of also dealing with debt, with crushing debt. So what you can do is make sure that your health insurance you have the best coverage that you can get, so that you are prepared in case that kind of thing comes up. I used to work for a medical company doing actual collections. Usually worked with insurance companies, but within that job, we also worked with patients, and a lot of times if the patients would just call in, and if they were being sent bills and they had a lot of an outstanding debt that was overdue. If they just were willing to call and talk about it, then we would put them on a payment plan, very easily put them on a payment plan. So make sure you are calling. If you have a lot of money due to your local healthcare provider, just give them a call and say, hey, can you work something out with me? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, what can you pay? What, if you can only pay $10 a month, fine, that's what we'll put on there. And that'll keep you out of collections. If you just call and ask the question and say, can you help me out here? Almost always they are willing to do that. So make sure you don't just ignore it, because that's the worst thing to do, because then they have to send you to collections. But if you make the phone call into them, then usually they'll set you up on a payment plan of some sort. Okay, next is everyday convenience items, right? Coffee, just little snacks. I mean, those little $2, $3 items, if you're putting them on your credit card, they just start to add up. And then before you know it, you don't even know what it is that you bought. It's just all this little stuff, like little itsy bitsy things that kind of like make you crazy. So I would never put that on a credit card ever. Okay, so what you can do instead is you have to have some kind of margin built into your budget, meaning that the total money in your account, you have your bills and the things you need to pay, but you have a certain amount that is just unaccounted for. Like you do have a buffer, right? A margin that you can spend on these little random things that you want to buy. If you want to buy a coffee out, if you don't have the money, then you have to try to work on just saying no. It's really important to flex that muscle. Okay, and then home repairs that are coming, such as a new roof, which is one of those items that is not fun to repair or pay for, right? So, but things come up like that. You're going to need things in your home if you are a homeowner. That's another probably a benefit to renting, is you don't have to take care of those large maintenance items. If your driveway needs a big repair, or like I said, a roof is a big one, or your water heater breaks. Yeah, so again, try to have some kind of home repair fund, something where you're setting money aside for those things that are going to be coming up that you are going to have to fix. Okay, and then this last one is probably the most dangerous, and it is the just this once category. It's the, you're like, oh, I just this one time we're going to put this new laptop on our credit card because we really want it, right? It's just, those are the things are the ones that really get you, where like you haven't budgeted for it, you don't have the money set aside, you haven't saved, no, you're just like, oh, just this once we'll do this. And that's like where you start to slip into that really dangerous zone of you're just using your credit card to buy things that you don't have saved for. And that's when it's, you can't pay it off, and it just starts to build and build. And before you know it, you have $20,000, maybe $100,000 in credit card debt. And it happens. It's like, it happened to us. And so I completely understand. It's so you have to be very careful if you find yourself saying, oh, just this once, we just need this Coach bag. I just want this Coach bag so bad. $5,000, I'm going to buy this just this once. I really want it. I'm going to treat myself. Okay. If you're saying words like that, I'm going to treat myself, I deserve this, it's just this one time, then that should be like alarm bells going off. Like this is that's the danger zone. And so if you really want something, then get it. Just save for it, right? Put the money aside and have actual money set up. And then again, use your credit card if you want to, because you want the points. And then make sure you can pay that bad boy off the next day. You have the money sitting in your bank account to pay it off. But if you don't have the money, then you're starting to get into debt. And that's not something that we want to do, especially if you're watching my channel. Then we're here to try to get out of debt so that we can have freedom, have a better quality of life. And that's what we're all about here. Okay. So if you have some things that you would never put on a credit card again, I would love to hear about it. Leave it down below in the comments. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.